One-on-one with Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, what he says about the last 140 days of the legislative session. Good afternoon, I'm Terry Gruca.
And I'm Quita Culpepper. First breaking news tonight. A 23-year-old man is in jail and accused in the death of his 2-year-old son. On Wednesday, Raimundo Silva Salas called the child's mother, stating the child was, quote, coughing and choking. She called 911 while rushing home. Doctors at Dell Children's told authorities the child was already brain dead when they conducted a brain scan. The child died the following day. Court documents show the toddler had an injury to the side of his head as well as bruises to both sides of his abdomen. Injuries medical personnel believe are consistent with being shaken. Silva Salas was booked into the Travis County Jail. The last 140 days have been a roller coaster for Texas lawmakers.
Now that the session has come to an end, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick stopped by the KVUE studios for a one-on-one with political reporter Ashley Godot. She joins us now. So does Patrick consider this a successful session?
Well, you know, I think one of the things that's interesting about the Lieutenant Governor is he thinks of things in terms of the Senate and the House. And he says that the Senate was very successful, but some of his priorities died in the House. Perhaps one of the biggest, property tax relief. So did you have a restful night last night?
Absolutely.
Good.
24 hours after gaveling out the Texas Senate for sine die, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick sat down with us to debrief.
First and foremost, your overall thoughts on the session.
The Senate had a great session, and I give that credit to the 31 senators, Republicans and Democrats. I had 30 priorities, as you know, at the beginning of the session. We passed out all 30. And so these were issues not necessarily partisan, but issues that all Texans wanted us to pass. So we passed out 30 of 30. You can't get better than that. 20 will make its way to the governor's desk and become law. And the ones that didn't make it are because the House killed them.
Patrick says those bills include education savings accounts, also SB 19 to freeze college tuition, and Senate Bill 2 reducing how much cities and counties can increase property taxes without a rollback election.
The state legislature has done a really good job of controlling expenses and limiting the size of government. Our cities and our counties and our school districts are just growing beyond people's means to afford them. And that's why property taxes are so important, to have real reform.
But a sense from a lot of lawmakers in the House, and one of their bills that did not get passed was the school finance bill.
Well, that's not true.
And they say that part of the reason why, you know, property taxes are the way that they are for Texans is because of the school.
It was just propaganda by the House. First of all, again, not to get too complicated, but they wanted to give schools $1.5 billion more. Do you know where they were getting the money from to give the schools more money? From the schools. They were borrowing money from the Foundation School Fund to give the schools more money. That's just ridiculous. And we stopped that. I can't say I'm going to give you a raise, but can I borrow some of your money to give you a raise? It's stupid.
The school finance bill the Senate returned to the House put in less money and added education savings accounts for students with disabilities. The House asked for a conference committee to hash out the differences, but the Senate declined.
A lot of the big concern, though, is with recapture. I mean, the state is set to take in billions on recapture, and not all of that money necessarily has to go to schools.
Well, here's the deal. If you want to fix that problem, then cut people's property taxes. The schools are funded by property taxes locally and state. Well, the higher the property taxes go up, then the state puts in a little less. In other words, here's the number. You want to fund whatever that number is. There's the seesaw. If your property taxes go up, the state puts in a little bit less. If your property taxes go down, which happened in 09 and 10, then the state puts in a little bit more. That's how it works. Well, if you reduce property taxes, which I've been fighting to do, and the House has refused to do, if you lower property taxes, the state will have to put in more money. We're prepared to do that.
Now, several Texas cities and counties were against the property tax bill Patrick supported, saying it would hurt their ability to fund critical services that come with growth, like police and fire. Tonight at 6, Patrick and I talk bathroom privacy and his political future. In the studio, Ashley Godot, KVUE News.
Those shoves between lawmakers went viral yesterday. People had filled the state house protesting the new ban on sanctuary cities. Republican Representative Matt Rinaldi from Dallas County said he called immigration agents on those protesters. That triggered a shoving match between Democrat and Republican lawmakers. But ICE tells ABC News that they are not aware of receiving a call from the Texas legislator. Even if ICE did receive a call, the protest would have likely been off limits, covered by the sensitive location policy, preventing ICE from making arrests or questioning individuals at that protest.
At the White House, a shakeup in the Trump administration. The White House communications director resigned just as the Russia investigation is expanding. It now includes President Donald Trump's personal attorney and close confidant, Michael Cohen. Cohen is not cooperating at this time. The president is dismissing questions about the Russian probe and links to his son-in-law, Jared Kushner. A Republican Senator John McCain says Russian President Vladimir Putin poses a bigger threat than ISIS.
The Russians who tried to destroy the very fundamental of democracy, and that is to change the outcome of an American election.
The president is meeting with two more candidates to replace fired FBI Director James Comey as well.
A few passing showers for this rush hour and evening. The heaviest so far today. First, the southwest of Austin, now due south of Austin. Temperatures are in the 70s in Blanco with some rain, cool air. Heaviest thunderstorm exiting out of San Antonio, headed to Floresville. 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds possible with that severe storm. For us, our activity is not even strong. It's just light to moderate showers coming out of Blanco, headed to Wimberley shortly. Give it about 30-40 minutes, and it'll be impacting portions of South Austin, down south of Buda, Kyle, and also in San Marcos. So a passing evening shower. A few more showers tomorrow, especially west of town, and then a better chance of rain area-wide as we head towards Thursday. Your full forecast just a few minutes away.
Thanks, Halbert. Two Wimberley cafe owners lose their home and business after a fire forced the family out of the house and caused hundreds of thousands of dollars in damage. It started at the Cypress Creek Cafe at around 2 in the morning. We're told it was sparked by some sort of an explosion. The building is one of the oldest in the city. It's considered a total loss, with an estimated $750,000 in damage.
What a lot of people don't understand is that, you know, it's more than just a cafe, it's more than just a building, and it's about the people that come here. And we really do have a family within this community that supports the Cypress Creek Cafe.
The fire started on the kitchen side of the building. The owner's dog and 2 cats were killed in the blaze. The cause is still unknown.
We'll chalk up another gain for the famous drug dog Lobos. The Fayette County narcotics team seized 27 kilos of cocaine last Friday. Lobos and his handler, Sergeant Randy Thuman, stopped a vehicle for a traffic violation, and Lobos detected the cocaine stashed in an aftermarket electrical compartment built into the rear wall of the truck. Along with cocaine, they recovered what was believed to be fentanyl. The street value of the cocaine, about $2.7 million. The driver, Juan Vasquez of Laredo, was arrested. Earlier this month, our KVUE Defenders team profiled Austin's K2 epidemic and how it was draining local emergency resources. Tonight, we continue our investigation into the problem and find out what makes K2 so difficult to stop. KVUE's Michael Perchik joins us now live in the newsroom with the story. Michael?
And Terry, there are a number of reasons why K2 has spread so quickly, from laws to chemical formulas, even to simple marketing. For example, many people refer to K2 or spice as synthetic marijuana, but this is factually misleading. The use of that term makes it more appealing to a wider audience, but masks its true dangers. During a conversation with AP earlier this month, Assistant Chief Jason Dusterhoff said the drug was worse than heroin. So while the problem is clear by the large volume of patient calls we've seen, the solutions so far have been elusive. Coming up tonight on KVUE News Night Beat, we'll show you what law enforcement and lawmakers are doing to stop the drug from spreading any further. In the newsroom, I'm Michael Perchik, KVUE News.
New information tonight about pro golfer Tiger Woods' arrest. Court documents show police in Jupiter found Woods belted into the driver's seat of his car, asleep at the wheel. The car was running and the golf legend had to be woken up. Officers said Woods had slow and slurred speech, but his breath test was clean. Woods said in a statement he had an unexpected reaction to prescribed medications he takes following back surgery. The world's former #1 golfer is still being charged with driving while under the influence. He's set to appear in court on July 5th. Ariana Grande has announced she will return to Manchester Sunday for a charity concert for bomb victims.
Fans that were at her Manchester Arena concert will get free tickets, and they'll get to watch quite a show. While Grande will be the headliner, she'll be joined by Justin Bieber, Katy Perry, Coldplay, Usher, Pharrell, and a lot of others. The BBC will air it live and provide it to international broadcasters as well as a digital feed. There is no word yet exactly which network here in the U.S. will pick it up, but we'll keep you posted for sure. Well, it's being considered the biggest exhibition launch in SeaWorld history. How the park is changing with the times after years of backlash.
Plus, a remedy to help with sugar bites is going viral, but does it work? We verify.
You're watching KVUE, where trust is earned.